Because we're two handsome guys.
Yeah, two handsome guys. Hey, you two! Welcome to Keep It Neat. I'm Derek, certified bourbon steward.
I'm Nick, certified bartender.
And
part teacher.
Yeah, part teacher. Yes, he is a teacher also. Well, welcome. Thank you for coming and watching us. Give you a little bit of what the show is about. We're doing a blind taste test. Don't know what we're drinking right now. Could be bourbon, whiskey of some sort, Japanese, Irish, Scotch.
We're here to taste it, let you know what we think. We're going to make some guesses. Afterwards, we're going to open up the chug jug here, which Derek himself, it's his own business. We'll get into later.
Make that.
When we go inside, we're going to find out what it is, read a little bit about what we guessed. Actually, we're going to make a guess, open it up, and then we're going to talk about what it actually is, where it came from, and stuff like that. Some local history.
Yeah, a little history on whatever the bourbon is will be included with it, with the notes from the actual item itself. We also have a grading system, scale system at the end of each episode. Before we're done, we're going to grade it on what we think it's worth, how we liked it. So it's going to be from 0 to 5, 0 being the worst, 5 being the best. Half will be can laying down. So if it's a 3.5, you'll see the little can laying there. 2.5, can will be down on its side. So those are used for our scaling system at the end to grade how well we liked it.
So let's talk a little bit. Last time we explained a little bit about who we are, how this all came to be. This time, want to throw you a little bit of other history into where we are and why we're here. So Derek, take it away.
Okay, where we're at, the amazing studio number 12 here. This used to be my uncle's condo / apartment. Well, it's come to be, I rented it out to Nick. So he needed a place to stay because he was a homeless dude living on the streets, a starving young teacher.
Yep.
So I got him out of his car and I said, move on into a house with heat.
Taking naps at lunch breaks on couches at work.
So we got him started with this, got him here, and he's moved on to bigger and greener pastures now. So
I'm grazing.
Not gonna lay. Well, he's grazing, yes. So he moved on. Met a lovely lady. So they needed a bigger place because Abel's is not that big. Mm-hmm. Big enough for a studio, not big enough for two. So they moved on, did some work in here. Obviously, you saw the preview episode of all the work that was done to our little studio that we have here.
And if you haven't, go back and watch it.
Yeah, you go watch that. That's
what they've done is incredible from when I first
it was
lived
pretty
here.
much
And my reaction.
It was a hovel he's telling you right now. They were homeless people. It was just squatters everywhere.
No.
It was terrible. No bathroom, just a bucket in the corner. That's where people went to
a watering hole.
A watering hole, take care of themselves. They had
an outhouse in the back. We barely had a shower.
Barely. It was just actually threw cups of water at himself. Yeah. That was how he bathed.
It's all right though. We got through it.
So what we're doing is blind taste. We're gonna get into it right now. You ready to whiskey?
Listen, ready and able.
All right, sir. Begin. Ooh. I'm definitely getting oak on that now. A little fruit note in there.
Caramel.
Yeah. You have vanilla. Caramel or vanilla on that, definitely.
Definitely more vanilla than caramel, but I think
it's definitely sweet.
Oh,
too much nose. Too much nose. All right, here's a good point. Yeah, you just learned a valuable lesson. When you're nosing a whiskey, if you would like to nose your whiskeys and be that kind of a person, which I like to do all the time, I like to smell it and see what I'm getting into sensory-wise. You can rest it against your top lip here and just let the aromas come up to you. If you stick your nose down there and take a deep whiff like Nick just did, you're going to blow out everything that's going on in your nose.
Yeah,
and
you
it's
just
gonna be
lost
rough.
everything.
You just lost everything. So just gently take let it come in over your mouth. You can have your mouth open a little bit. So it kind of comes in, comes through your nasal passages and over your tongue.
I just made a joke. I literally was like...
or you can do it that way, and I guess that's the porn version of sniffing your... You just can't do both of them, I'm saying. Keep your mouth open and still use your nose. Definitely sweet notes in that. It's maybe a little corn. I'm going to go for a little taste right now. Whew. All right, got a little kick to it. A little more alcohol in that one.
Yeah.
I'm going to go, it's a little over 45. Easily. % alcohol.
Ooh. Start making bets.
Yeah, bets. And if you're wondering in the show is why we're wearing the exact same clothes from our first episode, it's not because these are the only ones we own. It's because we're doing like 4 to 5 episodes every day, so I can get these out. So, if we're wearing the same thing in a row, that's usually the reason why. Or we just really like our clothes. So you may see it, maybe not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's comfy.
I look the
I
way
get like a little cinnamon in there too.
Glad you said that. I thought that earlier. I didn't speak up. I got nervous.
You can say, you don't have to. You keep it in. I totally blew it
I'll
on the
be
first
honest.
episode.
I feel like
off.
there's some leather in there, but very, very light.
Maybe in the background there.
And there's something else, and I can't get it. So if you didn't watch our first episode, you just tune into the second one. We have a aromatherapy, which comes with
aromatherapy.
Isn't that the name of it?
It's not aromatherapy. It's a sensory kit. It's a scenting sensory kit. Is what it's actually called. It's from what I got when I got my bourbon steward.
If you're a bourbon
certification
aromatherapy
through.
person.
It's the Stave and Thief Society. You can purchase this through them also. No affiliation whatsoever. I'm just saying this is what I bought because I needed it and I wanted it. A lot of everything you're going to be, if you don't have a background or know what you're smelling or tasting, you can't really put a flavor to it or a profile to it really. So this breaks it all down for you. You got corn in here, malted barley, grass, straw, cedar, oak. So any of those scents that you think you might be getting, you can go in there. There's citrus in here. There's a couple of different things, some mint. And you get in there and you can, if you think that's what it is, you can just go, no, it's not that, and go and try something else. And maybe that's what it is. Tobacco in there, like a pipe tobacco kind of a smell on some things that you can get, which you can get on a lot of whiskeys.
So like for me, I wasn't sure about the leather. I feel like it might be there. I'm not positive. So I'm gonna open up number 21. Leather. Not leather. Not leather at all. So twist that back.
I'm gonna try the corn.
Okay.
Because
I always heard corn.
nope, not corn. Not corn. Maybe that's just me. Rye?
I think it might be a rye. When it sat on my palate, I really think it was a rye.
That might be in there. But here's the whole thing.
that smells
If you're dealing
so
with
good.
any kind of a bourbon, you're going to have a mash bill that could possibly have, some rye in there.
Amazing.
Yeah, it could have some rye in there. Mash bill, to be considered bourbon, it has to be at least 51% corn. And then the other two parts of it can be rye, wheat, and then usually the malted barley will be in all of them. But you can either have rye or wheat for the secondary grain in there.
Definitely oak in there.
Yeah.
Which is probably in most of the whiskeys we'll try. But I can tell that this has been sitting in a barrel, maybe for some time.
And the thing is, a lot of stuff you're going to try, you're not going to have any age statements on it. The other thing is, to be called a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, it has to be aged for at least 2 years in Kentucky. Anything less than 4 years, it has to have the age statement on the label.
Oh.
So most of them you aren't going to find an age statement, so that means it's at least 4 years old. 4+ years. It's a Kentucky straight bourbon. Just a regular Kentucky bourbon, that's just 1 year, new oak barrel. And anything, and usually almost everything is usually at least 2+ years for the most part I've ever seen, but I could be wrong. If they're, put it in the comments below, say, Derek, you're wrong, and put it down there and say, you don't know what you're talking about, because I probably sometimes...
We want to learn.
Yeah, and it's a journey, and that's the whole thing, it's not, drinking whiskey it's not about being a snob, it's not about being anything, how you like to drink your whiskey is any way you want. There's no right or wrong way.
Yeah.
You want to put water in it, you want to put ice in it, you want to drink it out of a Coke, go ahead. That's up to you. It's however you enjoy it. That's the whole thing. Don't let anyone destroy your enjoyment of an alcohol or, a bourbon, a whiskey. It's however you want. If you want to put, a $2,000 shot of Macallan, a 72 over Coke, more power to you. Enjoy it. What do we got here?
Tobacco.
Tobacco. Do you think you're getting some tobacco in there? Is that what you're going with?
Maybe a little bit. And now smell it.
Yeah, I can see that in there.
I was wondering in the taste, but when I smelt it, I feel like I smell it.
Yeah, I could see a little tobacco in the background of that. A little bit. I'm going to put my guess on my board, and then we'll open up and see what we're dealing with.
So, before we grade, we're both going to take an estimated guess as to what we think it might be. Like we said before, it might be a scotch, it might be a whiskey, it might be a bourbon, it might be a rye, and then compare it. If we think we know exactly what the brand is, we're going to write it down for fun.
You could be horribly wrong, like I was the last time, and totally guess the wrong. But it's not wrong. I mean, it was my flavor profiles I was getting on it. seems similar to something I tried before.
You know what's weird?
I'm also going to guess the actual percentage of alcohol in there. I know it's what I think it is, but I mean, I'm going to go with that.
I feel like I just tried it again, and now that the whiskey or rye, whatever it is that I'm going to write down, is on my palate, I'm finding that more flavors coming out as this is like sitting. So it's sat on my palate now. I feel like this last sip I just tried, I tasted something I've not tried yet, and I don't know what it is.
Cinnamon in there, I'm definitely getting. Vanilla on the nose. So it's definitely, I'm going with, I wrote down what I think it is. Are you ready to unveil what this could possibly be inside here?
After so you said you put a percentage too?
I just put a percentage on the alcohol. I just said, where I think it is, because I thought just from the spice and what I was getting out of it,
I'm going to say that. I'm going to say...
No right or wrong.
I'm done.
There's no right or wrong.
There is no. There is never.
We're all learning together, so we're gonna go and guess what? You get to see a lot of different whiskeys. Don't show. Just put it down there.
Show first.
Yep,
I know that's why.
First. We do it after the fact. That'll be at the end. And let's see what we're dealing with. Wow. Okay, I like it. I was right with where I was going anyway. Got a little Eagle Rare Tenya.
Oh, I wasn't right at all. So let's show what we had. I had said that it was a rye.
Mm-hmm.
And
ooh, wow, you went with a strong old side of alcohol. 62%. I went with a bourbon.
Okay.
With a 45% plus.
I feel like you know what it was? I think maybe in a little comparison to the last one, this one was a little stronger. So I felt like it was there. What was it?
It's 45% alcohol.
Oh, so you're right on.
Yeah, I said 45 or plus, so I was fairly well with that. I'm happy. I'm a lot happier than episode 1.
Not exactly.
Well, yeah, but I said plus, so it could be on the other side, just because of it did have that little alcohol in the background when you're drinking it, and the burn on the back, which a lot of people get, in there. So I'll break out our tasting notes on there in a little lovely leather envelope, handmade by these little hands, because you can't find these anywhere. If they do, they're called purses.
Eagle Rare. There's your sound.
There's the majestic call of the eagle. And patriots are dying everywhere. All right, it's Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. It's 90 proof, 45% alcohol, aged 10 years. The mash bill is assumed to be, it's about 85% corn, so that's that sweetness that we were getting. That's really sweet in there. 10% rye, 5% malted barley.
So I was partially correct.
Well, we say rye, you were right with the rye, but it's as far as being a rye whiskeys usually have a high rye content. You're talking like 27%.
I know, yeah. It'll be called a rye. I can't take credit for the win.
No, you can't. Not in this one.
But I can say
closer on this episode. Nick was way better the last one.
That's like when you're in middle school and you have a little fight, and it's like, no, I was right. Well, I was partially right.
It's the distillery is Buffalo Trace. The parent company for them is Sazerac owns them. They are another one they own a lot that you don't.
Sazerac. Let me see how to spell that. I don't even know. I don't know who Sazerac is.
No, it's just they're the ones, the parent company of Buffalo Trace.
Oh, okay. So then I was waiting for.
No, it's not. It's Buffalo Trace Distillery. Parent company is Sazerac. They own quite a few of them. Eagle Rare is a single barrel whiskey. It's masterfully crafted, carefully aged, no less than 10 years. Each barrel is discriminately selected. The rareness in this great breed of Bourbon is evident in the complex aromas. Now this we didn't really. Neither one of us hit this one. I don't think we hit the orange peel either, but toffee in there. Toffee, which I always screw up with like a vanilla.
I can't say that's what it was, but I was like, there's something there.
Well, I
can't think of the name.
We're nailing some stuff there, sir. Leather and oak. But I think I said oak too. We'll see when I edit the video if I actually did say oak or not. But leather was in there, orange peel, and herbs. Just herbs in general. That could be anything, I guess. Just an herb.
You know what's weird? Here's yours. Smell it and tell me you do not smell that orange peel now. It's right there. Yeah, it's like an old fashioned.
But the sweetness is there too. It is a super sweet bourbon. It really is. It's sweet on the nose. The longer you let it sit.
This is fun.
It's great. I'm glad we had this idea to break it out to you people out there in YouTube. To say we're gonna watch us drink and go, this was a great idea.
This was awesome.
It was. I like it, but it's good stuff.
I meant,
how can you go wrong with drinking?
Good. No, exactly. But I meant like this itself is good. Like I wouldn't think if I saw this in a store, it honestly probably wouldn't attract me.
Well, this is Eagle Rare. There's a few different ones. There's a double Eagle, which is like $2,000 a bottle. It's aged. Don't quote me on this. I want to say it's 20 plus years. I think it's an old one. It comes in a very elegant decanter with this eagle is on top of it in a glass. It's crazy, man.
So we're gonna set up a donor choose. If you want to donate that to our
if you
show,
want, yes, if you are willing to donate us to try it on our show. But listen, here's the thing. We're not taking open bottles. There has to be a sealed bottle.
Yeah.
As much as we love our fans, I am not going to drink from an open bottle that you may have taken a swig from. Just saying.
No, you're being smart.
Yeah, so we'll also put down there, if you wanted to donate to us, we'll have our address you could send to at the studio. Donate, whatever it is. And we'll try it. We'll never know when it's coming on because we're blind tasting, but we'll try to get it in a few episodes. Within a month maybe, but depending on how many donations we get, it could be a while.
So, I'm tech savvy. Derek really isn't, but in between, he has come up with a studio.
Yeah,
so he is tech savvy.
Doing these videos. I'm not tech savvy, but I'm the video editor.
He's got it.
I got it. I got the program.
The women behind the scenes will be going and getting our booze, and then they hide it, and they present it to us hidden. And they brought out the whiskey for us, like you saw. However, if that's the case, like you said, we can let them know, hey, we got a package in the mail, we can't open it. Like, can you open it? It's from a donor or something. And they'll get it in the show at some point. And again, it'll just be completely random. We don't have...
So either two things will happen when I get the package here. Either I'm going to think it's a donation or a bomb. So there could be two different things that happen. Could just bring it upstairs, or I call the State Police Bomb Squad. So,
sir, it's just a bottle of whiskey.
So maybe put Fragile on there. Let's celebrate. To be able to buy this by us, it's about $35 locally.
Oh.
It varies, a couple of dollars here or there, depending on region-wise.
So when we go to our, back to our grading scale, which we're going to be doing out of 5, interesting because, like, when it comes to your grading, I'm going definitely based upon the whiskey, but now price can play a part in that too when you rate, because
well yes it can. For value on it, what you're getting out of what you're paying for it, and I think you're getting a lot out of this one.
That's what I'm saying, for $35. So does that change your score?
And here's the whole thing.
Know that.
Don't think you have to spend a lot to get a good whiskey.
No. Yeah.
Because I've spent some money on whiskeys and they're just not what you're getting for the price that you paid. It's your expectations are way up here, and when it comes in down here, you're disappointed.
So when we talked about Blue Label in the last episode, at my bar that I bartend at, I got off work early one day and I was like, I want to try the Blue Label. Okay. So I got it neat, because we're always keeping it neat.
Keeping it neat. At least starting that way.
At least, trying. And I wasn't impressed. Like, we've tried better ones out at restaurants and stuff together, and I was like, this bottle's worth that much, and it was, for me at my restaurant, which is pretty cheap, but it was $25 for it neat.
And see, and there's the other thing too, is, we talked about the last episode of trying, you can get the smaller bottles of these, in the nip size, or 375 milliliter size.
Yeah.
If you're out and you see it, it's way better just to try it. Yeah, it may be $25 for the shot, but listen, you're not $250 into the bottle, and you hate it, and it will just sit there forever, and you're never going to drink it.
Yep.
I have some whiskeys that I know I will probably never go back to. And they're just going to sit there and just die their death in a bottle, and probably someday be seen on this show.
Maybe it'll be aged more.
Well, it doesn't actually age anymore. That's the sad part about it. If 10 years, it's going to be 10 years forever in this bottle.
I don't know if people know that.
It doesn't. Yeah, that's the aging process. Only counts when it stays in the oak barrel. Once it goes into the bottle, there is no more age to it. So I have some stuff at home that my grandfather had and it was bottled back in 1978. I have some old granddad from 1978.
Okay, that's cool.
I do have it. It's there, but it's the same stuff. It really doesn't matter. It doesn't change anything to it. It's the same. It's just, if it was 6 years old when it went in, it's just dusty. Yeah, there's dust.
That's about it.
So you work through the dust and you get to your liquor. But it's unopened. It sits there. I have another one that I have that's from like the 70s also. So
yeah.
But, so
we're there.
So you want to let's actually grade them to what we think right now. So get our little cans out. I don't know how many cans. You got one can out over there now. So so there's one left.
Oh no.
Here's one. I'm not. Actually, I don't need that one. I'm good. Thank you, sir. I'm not gonna be. First episode, I think I was generous. It was the first one I was really happy about. Our first episode.
I know. It was exciting. I know. I hear you.
I'm gonna go 3.5 on this one, only because. I did like it. I think it's another really easy drinker. It didn't have a lot that would, I think, hurt a new person getting into bourbons or whiskeys.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with 3.5 on this one.
So
I thought it was good.
I went with a solid 3. I lean towards 3.5 too, but I honestly was like, I enjoyed it, and I would enjoy it if I went somewhere and it was offered to me, but I, like, knowing now what it tastes like, I don't know if I'd buy it again. It is very good, and it's definitely better than the Bushmills. It's fun and it's there, but I got to save those 4s and 5s right now. I got to save
Okay, 4s and 5s, I'm going to have to be a little more, maybe even this is too much, but I really did like this one, so I'm going to say it's a solid 3.5. Definitely solid 3.5.
Yeah, and I'm right at a 3.
I like it.
Awesome.
And we are there. So we're going to wrap it up right now. And,
So here's hoping that you find a little bit of luxury
in an otherwise ordinary life. If you are ready and able to whiskey, be sure to drop a comment below. Hit those like and subscribe buttons and press notifications. Also follow Keeping It Neat on Instagram. Thanks for watching, kinfolk.